You're on.
Okay, so now we're going to what originally is called knee drop, so still sometimes called knee drop. In IMS training, we like to refer to it as knee reach for obvious reasons, that it's not really about being super passive. So the first thing you want to do is make sure, and Alex, I'm going to have you come to the side a little bit, that you want to make sure that you are not in a tucked pelvis or a anterior pelvic tilt. So make sure that your pelvis is nice and neutral. One way you can do that is by taking your fingers and putting them where your ovaries would be if you were a woman, or where you would imagine them to be if you were a man. And you want, as if your fingers were dowels that were going through the pelvis, you want them to go straight down. So if I was tucked, they'd kind of pierce into my thighs, and if I was anterior pelvic tilted, they would kind of pierce into my guts. So none of that would be pleasant. So you want to make sure they anchor straight down is one way to tell. Yeah, and you also, again, just like in a big X, you want to have some awareness of your interior medial line, and not let your legs kind of open, right? You want to be active with the legs. So I'm here in my nice neutral ready position, and I'm going to let the legs drop one at a time. That's really important, this exercise. So I'm not going to take both legs at once. I'm going to take one leg down to the diagonal, low diagonal, and then the other one follows the low diagonal, and I can let them kind of even jiggle my body, or actively jiggle my body to find that line. You'll notice that nice clear crease from one shoulder through the torso to the opposite hip. To return again, I'm going to do it one leg at a time. I like to think of spreading and reaching the ischial tuberosities back to their neutral place. You can again check, make sure you got back to neutral, and do the other side. Important you make these noises. Okay, so that just is a nice way to sense both the separateness of the legs, how they can move on their own. Sometimes people like to lock their pelvis and just kind of move it as a unit. So it helps us counter-rotate in our pelvis with our femurs, and it helps us kind of define that cross-lateral line.